Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. Michelle Alien Brown had a two-part conversation with Simon Guobadia. So in part two, this is what we're going to talk about. I think they get a little in depth, so let's get into it. So he started off talking about the marriage. He said someone had come into his life for 453 days, and then they expect alimony and equity in a home that they didn't put anything in on. Now, do you think that's fair? 453 days? And you want me to pay you for being my wife? And as far as Simon goes, Simon said he don't know why Portia left. So then he kept talking about, the 453 days. And Michelle was like, she sees both sides because people are like, you signed the prenup, because he's saying that he don't feel like he needs to do anything because of the 453 days. And then Simon said he signed the prenup because he loved Portia. And if there's a dissolution to their marriage, and if this is what she needs to be whole, then he's gonna do it. What you think about that? I mean, what does that say about Simon and how he felt about Portia? And what does that say about Portia for them 453 days? So Simon said that he felt targeted, right? He said that, nothing was wrong. They were in Dubai because we saw Portia in the car on the water with her hands in the air waving like she just don't care, right? And then he said when they got back, he knew something was off. And he said he didn't know exactly what it was, but he said eventually it will come out. Child, Simon said that, first of all, the pictures that are in this interview are beautiful. I forgot how beautiful the engagement pictures are. Like, Portia is a beautiful woman. Like, she ran these pockets. Do you understand what I'm saying? But Simon said that when they got to Dubai, he was like, they were just doing so many things and it's just a moving and shaking place, right? And he said, how can we be a part of it? Well, to be a part of it, you have to be a resident of Dubai. And he was thinking about, Portia is a public figure. She has a brand. She can take her brand farther in Dubai. So they became residents. Portia is a resident of Dubai. So then he got to talking about if you defame somebody's character in Dubai, like what the repercussions are and all of that. And then Michelle was like, but you and Portia were going tit for tat, like on the internet. He said, no tit for tat. He said, what I say is facts and I can back it up. So there's that. So then Michelle was like, when I say tit for tat, like you got under Shamia's post and said, congratulations to the only housewife who has a Rolls Royce or something like that. And then Portia gets under there and says, yes, but, you don't have fraud or something. Whatever Portia said, right? Simon said she was baited. Simon said he knew that Portia was going to say something back. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what he said. Child, so then Michelle was like, so you didn't see any red flags? Simon said the first red flag he saw was that Portia said he gonna have to pay her $30,000 a month because she not gonna be working. I wonder if I tried that, how would that work? Like, where do I go to try that? I would try that today. I'm gonna quit work, so can you just give me, how do you do that? Like, I can't talk to Simon, so Portia said she quit her job and she gonna need $30,000 a month. It was a red flag and he paid it. Child, Michelle said, Simon, that's a lot of money, $30,000 a month. And she said, you were leading with your money, right? And he said where he comes from, he saw his father take care of his mother and his stepmother. And that's what he does. Also, Portia introduced him to these filters. That's at least worth $15,000. Like I said, Simon said he can pay for his wife and his girlfriend, right? And he said that what he saw growing up, If a woman wants to work, that's self-fulfillment. But he got this. Child, he said people can judge if they want to. I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. Okay, ride with me. I'm not talking about Simon like Gobadi. I'm talking about in general. Men like men that think like this in general. I'm so excited by what I'm about to say. So Simon was saying that he's been in relationships where it's been 50-50, meaning he and his partner has made the same or close to the same money. But if you're in a relationship and your partner doesn't make as much, it's unfair for you to ask them to go half on something like a $7 or $8 million home. He said, but there are ways for them to make a contribution. Now this is where he starts speaking my language. He said, make a house a home. Take care of the kids. Decorate. You know what I'm saying? When I walk in the door, let it be roast in the crock pot. I don't know if I'm speaking for you, but I'm speaking for me. Because I'm that girl. Like, girl, where he at? Okay, I have a question for Portia. And maybe y'all can help me. Now, I know Portia said that, you know, she had found some things out. He was scamming. He was doing this, that, and the third. But if he was able to pay you $30,000 a month allowance, like when did you start checking into him for the scamming stuff? Because while you around here fresh face in this Rolls Royce, you were waiting on the 15th. Right? To add to the other 15,000 that you didn't touch last month. I'm just trying to understand. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like right here, Portia was not worried about any scamming at all. Now Simon did go ahead and say that he did not know Portia prior to his divorce from Fallon, right? He said that. But then he was like, broken people want to see other broken people. I don't think Portia was broken. Do you think Portia was broken? I don't think she was broken. So Simon had got to talking about the $2,500 that he said that Portia paid like for child support and the shelves that his boys had wanted. They were talking about that. But then they got to talking about net worth and assets. Simon said the $300 million, you don't understand how net worth and assets work. He said when he was locked up in ICE, that wasn't generating anything. So there's nothing there. He said, but you got to be pretty naive on both parties. That means the United States and Portia to think I'm about to dig into my worldwide money and pay you anything. Because he is not in the United States. So the United States money is not doing nothing. But he got a worldwide account. Oh, my Lord. Child, it sounds like Simon not making these house notes. Okay. He said that if she is able to sell that $7 million home, he has enough equity to satisfy everything, right? So he's not taking money on the outside in the hopes that she's going to sell the home. He said, but if she can sell it, she can have the money. He said, but last time he checked, not too many people are in the market for a $7 million home. And Portia may be upside down in that house. Child, I would have let that house go. He said he took his vows very seriously, right? And he said that he was there to protect his family. He said that, but I guess in Georgia, you don't have to have a reason. He said, you know, we were in Dubai riding Lamborghini water cars, and the next day we were divorced. Portia, you could have just said, this ain't working. You know what I'm saying? That's wow. So Michelle asked him, how was his heart? You know what I mean? He said that he's talked to a therapist before and he has abandonment issues. So he will always be a man that will seek out women who need protecting. That's big, right, to know. And as far as relationships goes, he said that he wants to be in a committed relationship. He will never say never to that. And he said once Portia did all she did on the internet and tried to call him back and talking about Pilar missed him, he was like he was out. Let me know what you think about it. Bye, y'all.